Welcome, humans, and any celestial body else out there listening. This is Curious Minds, Infinite Answers. I'm your host, Courtney Christine Koskin. This podcast, simply put, is a mix of human curiosity and how, with the help of AI technology, curious minds can get the answers we seek. Let's get mind-bending and plunge deep beneath the surface of our everyday thoughts. Let's begin. Hey, I'm glad you're here today. My aim in this podcast space remains the same: to bring you ideas that stretch your mind and touch your heart. Today, the idea is on social anxiety, something so many of us have felt and often are burdened with, whether in passing moments or in waves that shape our whole lives. By the end of this episode, my hope is that you walk away with two things: a deeper understanding of how the mind creates this prison of anxiety, and some meaningful pointers you can try to help loosen the grip of social anxiety. So most of us here know we've felt social anxiety, but what exactly is it? Where does it come from, beyond just the sweaty palms and racing heart? Well, psychologists describe it as a fear of being judged, rejected, or humiliated in social situations. At its core, it's not really about the situation itself. It's about the brain's perception of threat. There's a part of your brain called the amygdala, basically the brain's alarm system. And with people that experience social anxiety, it basically fires off the same whether you're walking into a room of strangers or you found yourself walking into a pile of rattlesnakes. Your nervous system floods with adrenaline, preparing you to run or fight, even though you're just standing there, probably holding a drink. For some, it starts early in life: childhood shyness, critical parenting, or a painful moment of embarrassment that the brain never forgets. For others, it develops gradually, reinforced over time. The more you avoid social situations, the more the brain learns, yes, these settings are dangerous, better stay away. And so, the cycle continues. Social anxiety can show up in so many ways: meeting your partner's family for the first time, walking into a work gathering, answering a question in class, even standing in line at the grocery store. And it doesn't just affect adults. For kids, it might look like clinging to a parent at birthday parties, refusing to raise a hand in class even when they know the answer, or dreading things like school plays, group projects, or sleepovers. If you're a parent, these moments are worth paying attention to. Sometimes they pass with time and encouragement, but sometimes they are early signs of a deeper struggle. Noticing them and responding with patience and compassion can make all the difference in helping a child feel safe and supported. The situations for adults and kids may be different, but the feeling is the same: that surge of self-consciousness, the fear of being seen, and the desperate wish to not be. It's like your mind flips a switch. They're watching. They're judging. Your heart races, your chest tightens, and in that moment, you're not in the world anymore. You're trapped inside your head. It's interesting. Philosophers have wrestled with this idea of being sealed inside your mind for centuries. French philosopher, mathematician, and scientist René Descartes famously said, "I think, therefore I am." What we derive he meant was, even if he doubted everything, the external world, his senses, even mathematics, he could not doubt that he was doubting. The very act of thinking, questioning, reasoning, doubting, planning, proved that there had to be a thinker, someone behind the thought. So the one thing he could be certain of was his own existence as a thinking being. That's comforting on one level, but also a little unsettling. Because if the only thing we can be certain of is our own mind, then what about everyone else? This philosophical puzzle, sometimes called solipsism, asks, what if nothing outside of your own mind can be proven to exist? And while that might sound abstract, doesn't it feel strangely familiar? That's exactly what social anxiety does. It convinces you that you're cut off and that you can't really reach or be reached by others. When anxiety gets this heavy, many people turn to coping strategies. Alcohol is a big one. Drugs, avoidance, or over-isolation. And while these things may bring momentary relief, they often end up just reinforcing the prison. But here's the good news. Even prisons have doors, and every door has a lock, and every lock has a key. Psychologist, psychotherapist, and author Stephen Wolinski, in his book Quantum Consciousness, offers one such key. A powerful approach that I've started using and has helped me tremendously overcome some of my emotional challenges. He says, instead of fighting your emotions, you learn to merge with them, then step outside of them and see them as energy, because that's what they are. Let's try a simple example of this together, inspired by Wolinski. Close your eyes if you can. Take one slow, deep breath. Bring to mind a recent moment when social anxiety showed up. Notice where it lives in your body. Where do you feel it? Chest? Stomach? Face? Sweaty palms? Now, imagine yourself merging with it. Feel that emotion fully. Now, shift. Imagine stepping back, watching it all play out from the outside. View it not as a part of you, that emotion, that anxiety, but as a moving energy, temporary and passing. That's the key. The difference between being the anxiety and observing the anxiety. What you just did in that example exercise is more than just imagination. Science actually shows us that emotions are energy. When you feel anxiety, your body isn't just making it up reacting to an environmental setting. It's shifting into a measurable state. Your heart rate increases, your breathing shortens, stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline surge. Electrical patterns in your brain speed up, moving you into what are called high-frequency beta waves. All of these are energy shifts, measurable, bioelectric, biochemical, and tangible. Fear, shame, joy, gratitude, they're not just vague feelings. They're real, trackable states of energy moving through your body. That's why Wolinski's teaching is so powerful to me. When I merge with the emotion and then step back, I am literally purposely changing how that energy flows. Instead of being overwhelmed by it, I start to see it for what it is: temporary, movable, and transformable. It's a small shift, but it creates big space. And that big space is freedom. Let's try one more simple exercise together. Close your eyes, if you can, and take a slow, deep breath. Imagine the anxious thought that usually shows up for you. Maybe it's, they're judging me, or I don't belong here. Let that thought sit right in front of you, like you're sitting in a theater watching it on a big screen. Now notice that behind that thought, there's space. There's a background. The thought is loud, but it's not the whole picture. Gently shift your attention from the thought itself to the awareness around it. Notice how the thought seems smaller when you focus on the space behind it. Take another deep breath. When you focus on the space behind it, imagine the whole world outside that theater and that theater screen. Take another breath. See if you can hold both at once. The thought in the foreground closest to you, and the awareness in the background. That's it. The thought is still there, but now it's just one part of a bigger field of awareness. It's no longer the whole story. That's a key I hope helps you. You're never trapped by the thought or emotion itself. There's always a larger awareness to step into. May take some a little bit longer than others to achieve this, but it's possible. And that's where your freedom begins. Remember, in the heat of the moment, become aware of that crappy feeling or emotion, acknowledge it, merge with it, and then step outside of it and see it as a ball of moving energy. Take that ball in your hands and throw it as far as you can. With enough practice, you'll start to automatically notice and acknowledge the negative feeling or emotion and handle it beautifully. You have the power. You control your mind, not the other way around. Social anxiety is real. It's painful, but it doesn't have to define you. When we look at it through the lens of philosophy, we see that the mind can convince us we're more isolated than we are. When we use tools like Walensky's, we begin to feel the truth. Emotions are energy, not identity. And that means you're never as trapped as you feel. So if nothing else, I hope today is a reminder that you are capable of finding that way out, of loosening the grip, of stepping into a life where connection is possible, and where being present and at peace is yours again. The prison was never the end of the story. It was only the place where you discovered the key was in your pocket all along. Thanks for being here in this moment. If you have any thoughts, questions, or comments, I'd love to see them. Till next time. Thank you for tuning in to Curious Minds, Infinite Answers. I'm Courtney Christine Koskin, and I hope you'll join me for next week's episode as we proceed down the path of curiosity and discovery, uncovering various topics along the way. If you have any comments or want answers to your burning curiosities, drop me a line in the comments below. Until we meet again, find the good in the world, and if you can't find it, be the good.